This is Gene DeLisio with a featured interview from WDLB and WOSQ Sports. Marshfield Tiger basketball standout Ema Fehrenbach announced in April of 2017 that she would play her college basketball at Viterbo University in La Crosse.
I'm just so excited that I have this amazing opportunity to play again. Big thank you to everybody who's made this something that I can do, and I'm so excited for the future.
Tell us how this connection came about between you and Viterbo and how they got interested in you as a basketball player.
Actually, it came through my AAU coaches, and then during the season, my senior season, they came and watched me, and they were really interested.
And it seemed like there was probably less interest than we thought there would be in you during the course of the year. That had to be rather frustrating. What were your initial thoughts when Viterbo got involved with you?
I was really excited. I'm excited to go play basketball there, and the coaches seem very nice. And I was really interested in it too because my sister does go there. So.
Well, tell us about the program and where they see you fitting in the next couple of years.
In the next couple of years, I'm going to transition into about a three position. So I'll be working on my three-point shot and some more ball handling skills than I have been.
Now, this is certainly a big jump for you for a couple of reasons. First of all, you likely will not go to Viterbo and play the position you've played in high school. As you mentioned, you're going to play a 3 rather than a 5. Tell us about moving to another position here and learning those skills.
Moving to another position, it's going to be hard, but I'm excited to take on the challenge. I did play a little bit of it in my AAU season, so I'm starting to become more familiar, and Coach Heidi and Heidi Michaelis, they're going to be helping me with my shot, and I'm excited to take on the challenge.
And what are some things you have to do to learn how to play that spot and perfect those skills?
Definitely more ball handling drills, working on my three-point shot, getting a lot of shots off.
What is it about Viterbo, or what about your game that Viterbo liked and caused them to recruit you this year?
They liked how I am very athletic, and I can run the floor, and I can play man-to-man defense.
And tell us about what you need to do now to get ready for the start of a college career.
Definitely lift weights a lot more than I have been. Just keep on grinding, as I would say.
And how about your studies on the Viterbo?
Right now I'm planning to go into math education, so I like to teach high school.
And I'm sure you're going to like a lot of bus rides because that's a bus league out there. Tell us about that part of the game. Our
conference travels a lot more than a lot of other conferences, so we'll be all over, 7 to 9 hour bus rides. But I'm excited. I'm excited to spend time with this new team and get to know everybody.
Tell us about the coach down there, Coach Vandenberg, and the impression she made on you.
Coach V, she was very open and very honest, and I really like that as a coach, and I'm really excited to play for her. She seems like she's very upbeat and ready to get to action.
Okay. What about the experience of playing here at Marshfield, what that has meant to you as a player and in your development?
I would definitely say the coaching staff at Marshfield has propelled me forward for my future. I've really appreciated that. And playing with all different kinds of girls from my freshman year to my senior year, going from somebody who is just starting to play on varsity to being a leader, that has really helped me. And I hope that I have imprinted on some of the younger kids too.
Can you tell us how you feel you progressed as a player in these last 4 years?
I've definitely improved a lot, especially on my shooting and my toughness and quickness.
Marshfield's Ema Fehrenbach, who announced in April of 2017 that she would play her college basketball at Viterbo University, an NAIA school in La Crosse. Ema is a 5'11" forward who played 4 seasons of varsity basketball at Marshfield High School and ended her high school career 4th on Marshfield's girls basketball scoring list with 1,105 points. She averaged 18 points and 7 rebounds per game for the Tigers during her senior year and was named the Wisconsin Valley Conference Girls Basketball Player of the Year. And Marshfield Tiger girls basketball coach Heidi Michaelis is thrilled to see Ema advance on to college basketball.
I'm just excited for her. She was someone that just really wanted to continue playing basketball and really did all the things to put herself in the position to have that opportunity. Playing in the summers, the AAU circuit, and then she really came in and had just a really, really stellar senior year, and to have this opportunity, I'm excited for her. I just said to you, it's nice that she's close to home. People will probably get to see her play more than some of the other kids that have gone away. So I'm just excited for her to have this opportunity.
Tell us about some things that Viterbo liked about her game that brought them together.
In talking to Coach Vandenberg, it was, Emma's just such a crazy good athlete. I think that's the first thing that when you watch her play, she's not big. She's, you would say lean or slight build, but she scores against many different kids, whether they're bigger than her, taller than her, thicker than her. She has that ability to find a way to get things done. She plays bigger than she is, and I think first and foremost, her athleticism definitely attracts anyone that watches her to notice, what she can do on the floor.
Where do you see her fitting in the college game? Because maybe what she does in college is not really representative of what she did for you.
No, it'll be interesting to see, because the fact that she scored, around the basket for us so much, and she's going to definitely have to learn to be willing to score from the 15, 16-foot range, maybe even out farther. I have said all along, she can. She just didn't have to. She was allowed the opportunity to score close, and, why would she shoot 15, 16-footers if she can get to the rim? So I think that's what you will see more from her in the college level, but, she played against bigger posts. She played against Division I posts throughout this year and at times last year, and found ways to score against people that were bigger and maybe perhaps stronger. So she has the uncanny ability around the basket to get to the rim, whether it's off a head fake, and she finishes so well right and left. I think that's going to be something that's going to bode well for her.
How much of an attraction was her pure athleticism to a coach? The fact that, maybe we're not seeing her do what we would like to see her do for our college team, but she's such a good athlete, we can do something with her.
We can, and I think the one thing that I tried to get across to anyone that I talked to was simply the fact this kid wants to get better. She wants to play hard every single day that she comes to practice. I never had to ask her to, and there's not a lot of kids that come and battle in every single drill, and when they lose, they get mad. I've had a few of them: Taylor Varsho, Jenna Southworth, Megan Maslowski. These are kids that went on to, they've done well in life because of that, and that is Emma to a T. We never had to break up any fights this year, but she's competitive, and that makes her want to get better, and any coach is going to want that as much as anything for a kid that they're recruiting on their team.
Tell us how you've seen her progress these last several years.
She's just matured as a player. I think the consistency and her ability to score game in and game out, I think that's the thing that I don't think people realize how hard it is. And I'd say even more so this year than even last year. Last year she had Kayla Scheuer with that scoring ability as well. But when she had to score 20 points or 16, 18 points for us a game in order for us to be successful, she didn't have a choice. There wasn't other people that could to take that load off of her. And for her to go out knowing she had to do that and do that consistently game in and game out is a lot harder than people realize. She ended up with 1,085 points. Again, I don't think people realize that is not an easy task to do, and sometimes they just maybe take it for, it's a 1,000-point score. But she played with people around her that also scored 1,000 points, so it wasn't just her scoring, So I think there's just so many things that she's done that I think maybe it doesn't get swept under the rug, but I don't think people realize how impressive it actually was.
I want to ask a question of you, which I thought of earlier today. This is kind of maybe a bit offbeat here, but you've sent a lot of players to college ball in recent years. Liz and Jamie, the 4 players in the Northern Sun recently. Aside from Megan Maslowski, they've all been guards.
Yeah.
Megan's a post player, had a good career at Stout, but you've been talking to college coaches over the years about recruiting your guards. This experience with Emma, has this been a learning experience for you to learn what a college coach is looking for in a post player?
Yeah, I think somewhat. I think honestly, being a guard, obviously I feel not better prepared, but it has, because part of me wants to say that they missed the boat a little bit because of the things that she was able to do. And I've had the kids come before her that she made it look easy. And, I've said that to you in the past about certain people that I've had. She made it look easy. I don't think people understand how hard it is. And so, there was a little bit of frustration maybe in this recruitment, just because I felt like I had to sell it more than I feel like I should have had to. And, good for Viterbo and getting what I think is a diamond in the rough. That's my personal opinion. Now, Ema has to go out and prove that she can do what I think she can do. But I think every recruitment is different, and I think that as I do this longer and longer, you're right, I never really thought of it. That is offbeat, that most of the kids that I've had go on to play have been guards. But I would say that frustration perhaps was the word that came to mind, because she worked so hard and she kept saying, what am I doing wrong? And she was doing the things in my mind that was putting her in the position to get looked at, and it wasn't happening. And so I think that's probably the word that comes to mind with it. And I think that's why I'm so happy that she's gotten the opportunity to play.
Maybe it's unfair, because maybe when you look at Ema and you see her in practice every day, you look at Ema and say, I see a lot of Taylor and Liz Butke and Jamie Brown and all these other players, Katie, because of her athletic ability. She's not like Megan, not like Hannah, say. She's more of a guard in a 5'11" body. Is that kind of the way you look at her?
Yes, with her motor that she has, because she just never stops. And I've never had a kid block as many shots as she had. And people will say, well, she's not even that tall. Nope, but she's just an athlete. And I think that's the big thing that what Viterbo is getting in her, is that she's a kid that her ceiling is still, I don't know what it is. She's going to continue to get better and better and better. And whether that is a true post or what I probably would think is going to be a 3 or 4 before she leaves. But she proved that she could defend bigger kids than her. She proved that she could rebound with bigger kids, and she definitely proved playing against the kid from Neenah last year and the kid from Hortonville that she scored. And every coach to a T, would say, "Wow, that 25 is really good." And I'd say the same thing. Tell everyone because that she was scoring against Division I posts.
Marshfield Tiger girls basketball coach Heidi Michaelis, who is sending standout Ema Fehrenbach to Viterbo University in La Crosse to play her college basketball, and Ema is a big addition to the Viterbo program. For V-Hawks coach Bobbi Vandenberg.
Well, I think it sort of, with Ema, it solidifies a strong class that we have coming in. Ema is a terrific athlete. And I think she can fill a need for us defensively and offensively. We just love her athleticism, and then just kind of the passion that she plays with, and love how she gets up and down the floor, which is going to fit so well with our style of play and with the style of play in the NAI. Really, quickness and speed is sort of I would say the foundation of NAIA basketball, whereas we don't get the big, strong kids like you have in D2, but it's a quicker, faster game. So I think Ema's going to fit in really well there.
Tell us what you first thought of when you saw her and how you project to use her at Viterbo.
Well, I think, the biggest thing is her athleticism kind of projects to her being able to fit in pretty quickly, we think. She's a good finisher at the basket. I think she can be a good defensive player. I see her playing probably both the forward positions for us, which are pretty interchangeable actually in our system, both forward spots. And a lot of times we'll fill in guards at that 3 position, so she could play at the 4. I think that she's going to fit in very nicely. And then once she gets on the court with all of our kids, we can see what's going to be best for our team and for her and where she's going to fit in best.
This had to be a rather unusual situation in that, a lot of times you recruit a ball player and you recruit a point guard, you could say, hey, she's going to play point guard for me, or you recruit a 6'2" post player, she's going to play post for me.
Right.
You really couldn't project that with Ema because he's almost playing out of position in high school because of necessity here.
Right.
So when you first looked at her, what were some things you thought about where she might fit in or how you would project to use her in the future?
Well, we definitely definitely thought that she would be a forward for us, that 3-4 position, which again is pretty interchangeable. And we like to, with her ability to get up and down the floor, we like to get a kid running the floor. Once we get a rebound, get down the floor, look to get the ball up to her and see if she can't get it to the basket and score early. And then again, when you see her, you see a kid who has a ton of potential as a good defender, and that is really important in our program. The sooner our kids, our freshman players can learn to defend at the college level, the sooner they're going to get on the floor, because there are no bad players, so you can't hide anybody. So defensively, that we see that she's got that quickness, and coming from a really strong program at Marshfield, she's going to know a lot about defense, and then she just has to learn how we defend.
Tell us how you have her make that transition from almost a back-to-the-basket type post player to a 3 or a 4 in your system.
Well, usually the freshman year, if a kid has pretty much been a back-to-the-basket player, we'll utilize her that way and then transition her slowly by drilling, repeating, if a kid's a good enough athlete, they're going to adapt. And it's just a matter of time. So she might be more effective for us early on with her back to the basket, but she's going to extend that game. And we have a freshman right now who's exactly the same way, and now she's already moving out to the three-point line and starting to, make plays facing the basket. It just took her a little while.
You mentioned you had a pretty good recruiting class this year. Tell us about that.
Well, we have Hannah Anderson from Eau Claire Regis, who is an all-state kid, and Ambry Schlosser from Durand, another all-state player. So Hannah fills that post position. Ambry's a point guard. Then you bring in Emma as a small forward, or play that 3-4 spot. We got a real tough kid, combo guard. Well, she's more of a 2-3 from the Twin Cities. Just really a tough player. And then we have another forward coming from a small school in Minnesota as well. And we're still trying to pick up 1 or 2 more. So it's a strong class.
And you changed conferences a couple of years ago. What's the new conference been like for your team?
It's actually been really interesting, because we've gone from going to Iowa to going to the Dakotas. But the biggest difference is, instead of playing Wednesday, Saturday, we play Friday, Saturday. And that was the biggest adjustment. I wasn't sure how I was going to like that. But it's turned out to be a very good thing for us, and it's also good for the academics, because they're not missing Wednesday classes. They might miss Friday classes when we're on the road, but Friday tends to be a light day academically. So from an academic standpoint, it's been a good thing. And when you take a trip, you're going most of the time going to play 2 games rather than 1. So it's an adjustment, because you have to prepare for 2 opponents, which is a little different. But overall, I think it's been a positive thing.
Viterbo University women's basketball coach Bobbi Vandenberg, who signed Marshfield's Ema Fehrenbach to a letter of intent to play college basketball at Viterbo in April of 2017. This is DeLisio for WDLB and WOSQ Sports.